Welcome back to Seoul Spotlight, the place where we dive deep into the stories, the moments, and the conversations surrounding the biggest stars in Korean entertainment. Today, we're talking about something that fans all over the world can't stop discussing: the noticeable change in the visuals of Park Jimin after his military service. When a global icon like Jimin disappears from the spotlight for a period of time, fans naturally become curious about what he will look like when he returns. For years, audiences have known him as the soft-featured performer with delicate visuals, expressive eyes, and a stage presence that blended elegance with intensity. But recently, as new photos and sightings began circulating online, many fans felt that something about him looked different. The conversation started quietly. A few images began appearing on fan communities and social media timelines. Some were casual photos, others were short video clips captured from afar. At first glance, everything looked familiar: the same smile, the same unmistakable aura. But the more fans looked, the more they began to notice subtle changes. Almost immediately, comments began filling the posts. Many fans said that Jimin now looked more mature than ever before. It wasn't just the passing of time. There was a new depth in his expression, a slightly sharper aura that gave the impression of someone who had gone through a meaningful chapter of life. Military service is known for changing routines dramatically. Early mornings, intense physical training, and a structured daily lifestyle can reshape a person's body and mindset. For someone like Jimin, who already had impressive stage discipline, this new environment may have further strengthened his physical conditioning. Fans were quick to point out that his physique appeared more athletic. Compared to older performances and appearances, his shoulders seemed broader, his posture more solid, and his overall frame slightly stronger. It wasn't an extreme transformation, but it was noticeable enough that fans began discussing it across multiple platforms. Some army members expressed admiration, saying that the new look made him appear more confident and charismatic. They felt that this more mature version of Jimin still carried the same warmth but also projected a stronger presence. Of course, the discussion didn't stop there. One of the most talked about aspects was his hairstyle. Throughout his career with BTS, Jimin has experimented with many different hairstyles and colors. From silver to pink to deep black, each era introduced a new visual identity. This time, however, fans noticed a styling approach that felt simpler and more natural. The haircut appeared shorter and cleaner, giving his face a sharper outline. Some fans believed this styling highlighted his jawline and cheekbones in a way that felt slightly different from previous eras. Because of that, another wave of discussion began. A few people commented that his face looked slightly different. But most longtime fans quickly pointed out that the change likely came from natural factors: lighting, hair, styling, and simply growing older. In fact, many armies defended the idea that nothing drastic had changed at all. Instead, they argued that fans were simply seeing a more mature version of the same person they had supported for years. The debate became one of the most engaging fan discussions in recent weeks. Some people posted side-by-side comparisons between older photos and more recent images, analyzing everything from facial angles to posture. Interestingly, these comparisons only seem to highlight how consistent Jimin's core features actually are. His distinctive eyes, his expressive smile, and his elegant facial structure remained unmistakable. What really stood out was the energy he seemed to carry. In older performances, Jimin often projected a graceful and almost ethereal stage presence. Now, fans felt that he carried an additional layer of confidence, a grounded strength that added new dimension to his image. For many supporters, this evolution felt natural. After all, artists grow, experiences shape them, and time inevitably brings subtle changes. Rather than seeing the difference as something surprising, many fans celebrated it as a sign of growth. Another reason this topic gained attention is because Jimin has always been known for his dedication to self-improvement. Throughout interviews and documentaries, he has often spoken about practicing tirelessly, refining his dance technique, and constantly challenging himself to improve. So when fans saw a stronger physique and a slightly more mature aura, many simply interpreted it as the result of that same dedication. The conversation also reflected something deeper about fandom culture. Fans don't just watch performances, they observe every detail. Hairstyles, fashion choices, posture, even subtle expressions become part of a larger story that fans enjoy discussing together. In the case of Jimin, those observations quickly turned into admiration posts, fan edits, and appreciation threads celebrating his growth. Some fans even commented that this new look might signal an exciting new era for him as an artist. With a stronger physique and a more mature aura, they believe future performances could carry an even more powerful stage presence. Others simply expressed happiness that he appeared healthy and confident. Ultimately, the discussion surrounding Jimin's visuals says more about the deep connection fans feel toward him than about the changes themselves. For years, audiences around the world have watched him evolve from a young trainee into one of the most recognized performers in global music. Every new phase of his life becomes part of that story. And while fans may debate hairstyles, styling choices, or subtle visual changes, one thing remains consistent. The admiration and curiosity surrounding Jimin continue to grow stronger. Whether he appears with a softer look or a more mature image, the core of what makes him special hasn't changed. His dedication to performance, his emotional connection with fans, and the charisma that made millions fall in love with his artistry are still very much there. In many ways, this moment simply reminds fans that artists evolve just like everyone else. And for someone like Jimin, every new chapter becomes another reason for fans to keep watching, supporting, and celebrating the journey. Because no matter how his visuals evolve over time, one thing is certain. When Jimin steps back into the spotlight, the world will be watching.